Hello and welcome to Big Orbit Games unboxing video of the new Magic the Gathering Oath of the Gatewatch Fat Pack. So my name is Simon and what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to open this up and just show you the contents. I'll crack open the boosters as well, but I'm not going to spend long going through each card. I'm mostly just here to show you what you're getting if you're thinking of picking up a Fat Pack. So we'll go through the contents list, which is on the back here. So you get your player's guide, which is really cool. I'll flick through that in a sec. You also get the Fat Pack box, you get the 2 cardboard deck boxes, you get a spin down life counter, random of the 5 colours, you get 9 boosters, which is always cool, who doesn't like boosters? And you also get a land pack now for Battle for Zendikar, and then again now for Oath of the Gatewatch. They are the full art lands, and this one includes the Wastes, which is one of the new lands. So I'll show you that in a moment. So a little bit of cardboard just to keep the packaging looking shiny. Go through that in a moment. So this is your player's guide. Very useful reading material if you happen to need it. So inside you get an explanation for the story and what's going on and the Planeswalker's Oath. You also get a rundown of the primary characters in the story. So in this instance, the 4 Planeswalkers. You also get a rundown on the 2 Eldrazi that are currently on the plane. I can't remember where Emrakul is at the moment. I think he's off-world. It also explains the new colourless mana symbol. So this is a big change, something you should look up if you're interested in Magic. I'm not going to go through all the details of it here, but effectively, colourless mana now has a symbol called Wastes, and it looks like a little diamond, but this goes into detail and explains that. And you've got some more of the story in here. They highlight some of the key cards that they think are quite interesting. There are new mechanics as well in here. So there's that, then a rundown, story, and then the 10 coolest cards as Wizards have determined. And then you're on to a complete gallery of all the cards in the set. This is great if you are intending to collect the entire set, or you just want to have a flick through, see what cards are in there. So yeah, that is the player's guide in there. So we'll go on to the actual physical box. So you have these 2 sort of cardboard struts which keep it aloft just to make it look nice and shiny on the shelving. So you've got your cardboard box there and your goodies. So in this instance we've got a red spin down dice, which is quite cool. Who doesn't like red? Let's try and get that cellophane off my fingers. Nope, it has decided to attach itself to me. So spin down counter has the Oath of the Gatewatch set symbol on it as the number 20, and you can use that for keeping track during your games. You then have your boosters in here, and in case you are brand new to the game, you also get the rules reference card. Very useful if you are new to the game. It just explains some of the core rules and is a good little reference to have next to you if you are playing your games for the first few times and you haven't got someone like our magnificent selves to teach you. You then get these 2 cardboard deck boxes, good for keeping decks in, although if you've sleeved your cards, unfortunately a 60 card deck won't fit inside these, so once you've sleeved decks, this is good for keeping your spares or lands if you're going for drafts, that sort of thing. So they do have their uses. And then in this pack we have your land pack. So this sealed land pack in here. You're getting I think it's 20 of each. Let's open it up just to be sure. I'm not 100% because of the additional waste in there. So let's open this up and take a look. So you're getting the beautiful full art lands from Battle for Zendikar. Because Oath of the Gatewatch is a small set, you don't have the new basic lands printed for them. Except for, in this version, you should have Wastes, which is the new basic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You get 14, sorry, in there. So they've cut down slightly to make room for the Wastes. So you get those 14 in there, along with all your other colours you could need. It's cool to have access to the Wastes. If you're playing in Draft and Limited, you only have access to the Wastes that you pull out of the packs. It's something to remember. But in normal constructed play, you can use as many as you like because they are technically a basic. And then we've got 9 boosters to play with as well. So I'm going to quickly open these up. Like I said, I'm not going to spend long going through them all. just because there are many more well-established people who can explain these cards a lot better. Although Isolation Zone is a very cool white enchantment. When it enters the field, exile target creature or enchantment an opponent controls until it leaves. So it's a slightly more expensive version of Oblivion Ring, but it can hit enchantments. Owner's Blessing is very cool. So rare for the pack was Deceiver of Form. This is one of the Eldrazi with the waste requirement. So it's something to keep an eye on when you're deck building and looking through cards. And we've got a foil dimensional infiltrator, which is nice and shiny. So let's make some room over here. So usually we have quite a good, players tend to have quite a good rarity pull on fat packs. They tend to get the quite a few mythics. So here's to hoping we do as well. So we've got an Oath of the Jace. These oaths, there's one for each planeswalker, their enchantment. When they enter the field, they'll have an effect and a secondary effect as well. So, just brutally rip through that pack. Another waste. So wastes can appear at common. They are twice as common as a normal common. So there is a chance of pulling these just as a normal card in your pack. They don't take up the land slot though. Storm Chaser Mage is very good. I'm expecting that to see constructed play. 2 mana for Flying Haste and Prowess 1/3. What's not to like? And we got a Goblin Dark Dwellers. And an Eldrazi Scion token. So if you play Battle's End card, the Eldrazi made their little Eldrazi spawn. In this one they make the Scions, the difference being the Scions generate a colourless mana, rather than one of the wastes mana, rather than just one colourless. Reflector Mage, and we've got Seagate Wreckage. So this is part of the story if you've been reading through it. And there's one of the rare lands from the set. So I haven't yet delved into the story deeply into Oath of the Gatewatch, which I fully intend to do soon, because the stories is always interesting. And we've got an Oath of Gideon. So we've had 2 of the oaths so far, so that's Jace and Gideon. Wonder if we can get the whole set just from one fat pack. That'd be interesting. So, flicking through, and we've got a Corrupted Crossroads. So you got another rare land. Again, another one that produces a waste. Or you can pay a life to add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool, but you can only use this to cast spells with Devoid. So, let you build a Devoid deck up a bit easier. Devoid being one of the mechanics from Battle's End card returned here, where a card, even though it has a coloured mana cost, still technically counts as colourless. Hissing Quagmire in there, and we also got a rare Comparative Analysis. Hissing Quagmire being one of the new mana lands, so it can enters tapped, can generate a mana, or you can pay and turn it into a creature. In this case, 3 mana to turn it into a 2/2 black and green elemental with Death Touch. Who doesn't like Death Touch? It means you can trade that land away for one of their hopefully much bigger creatures. You lose the land out of it, but they lose something even more valuable. We've got a Sifter of Skulls in here, another one of the Devoid Big Eldrazi. And then the last pack, so we haven't had any mythics, which is a shame. Let's see if we can change that with this pack. We have a Gravity Negator and an Overwhelming Denial in this pack. So Surgial is also one of the new mechanics. You can cast this spell for its surge cast if you or a teammate has cast another spell this turn. Oath of the Gatewatch has a bit of a focus on the multiplayer format, on Two-Headed Giant in particular for the pre-release events that were going on. But yeah, that's a very brief rundown of everything you get in a fat pack, in particular for the Oath of the Gatewatch. Another neat thing as well is these open up. If I can just very carefully open it, because there's a bit of a sticky grip here, but it's subtle enough that you can open it up and they perform, it turns into a nice piece of artwork. Which is really cool if you've been collecting fat packs for all these years that they've been printing them. You can end up with quite a nice little display on your wall of those. So, cool bit of artwork. So there we go. That is everything in an Oath of the Gatewatch fat pack. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any questions or like to know anything, please feel free to leave them below in the comments. Also remember, everything you've seen here today for the cards can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll also be doing an O for the Gatewatch booster box opening, so join me for that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.